everybody, and welcome to another top 5 records video and another subcategory, because this was requested to me and I think a great idea by another YouTuber called Brad Bradley. He suggested to me in another video, why don't you make a monthly video with your top 5 findings of the month? And I think that's a very nice idea. I really like to share the records that I find and to share the enthusiasm of finding a certain album or a certain pressing. And I travel somewhat for my work, so whenever I get to a new city, I just dive into the record bins and try to find new records. I search online, and searching online is nice. You know, Discogs is a great help, but it's really fun if you go into another town and find out what's in the bins over there. I mean, experiencing another city, you know, you'll walk through all of the nice atmospheres and all buildings and all these kinds of things. It's awesome, but when you have a goal of finding records, then it's even better. And I'm gonna start off this list with, this is my January findings, so although it's the beginning of February, I'll do another video at the end of this month. I'll start off this with January 2022, my favorite findings. And on the number 5, it's this record by a band called Grauzo. And Grauzone is one of my favorite bands. And actually this is my favorite record, and they only made one record, namely this album. You might know them because they have this little hit called Ice Bear. They also made an English version of that called Polar Bear. They did not exist for a very long time. They broke up just after this release, and there are some other songs which they made, and they are also really great. But this record, this is my number 1 favorite. And whenever I find a copy, I just buy it. I just buy it. This is the 3rd or 4th copy I've bought, and it's usually very expensive, but I just want to have as much of these in the house for when I get children, for whatever reason, if one of them drops. You know, I'm very afraid of losing this beautiful, unique sound, because when you put this album on, you enter a very tough, rough, avant-garde, challenging dream world with beautiful melodies and vocals and lyrics which have restrained emotions. It is somewhat a record of puberty, in the sense that you feel that there's a lot going on, but they do not have the words to express it. I mean, the lyricist Stefan Eichner wrote it with that in mind. I mean, he's gotta have written it with that in mind. It is such a gorgeous record. It's a Swiss band. The lyrics are in German, but they are easy lyrics. You can easily hop along with this. I'm a filmmaker, and I also write screenplays, and I wrote an entire screenplay with this record on repeat. There were days when I listened to this record 3 or 4 times. If you find it, don't buy it. I'm gonna buy it. All right, the number 4 of this list. It's on 5, by the way, because I already have the same pressing, but I just, you know, it's not easy being a vinyl geek. This little gem, The Killing Joke, the debut album, the first album of The Killing Joke. And this is an Australian pressing. Why Australian? Because I thought it would have been the same lacquer as the UK one. A friend of mine has a first UK. I bought a first Australian because the condition was very good. You do not come across this record very often. I found it for a good price online on the Dutch eBay called Marktplaats, and I'm very happy with it. It sounds great, but I have to compare it to the first UK. Because, well, yeah, that's my hobby. That's what I constantly do. Nevertheless, this is a great sounding piece of vinyl. It's a beautiful, near mint version. And this band was brilliant in these days. I mean, look at the beautiful artwork. Look at the beautiful artwork. Look at this. The atmosphere of this cover, that's the atmosphere on this record. It's beautiful. It's challenging. It's really something. One of my favorite findings of January 2022. Now, this is something I've been looking for quite a long time. This is Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. And this is a first US pressing, and it says 1974. You might think and know that 1973 was the initial year of release, but it was released for the first time in the UK in 1973 and in the US in 1974. It's very tough to find a first pressing of these, and going online I read that the US and the UK first pressings are about equally good. Now, putting this on, you do not know what you're hearing. Black Sabbath, when you find a good vinyl of Black Sabbath, you understand why they were so controversial and so shaking up things in the 70s. It sounds rough, but not rough in the sense of fast or ordinary. It has got a lot to do with the space in the air and the sound of the guitar and the reverb and the entire quality of guitar and the entire quality of vocals, the way Ozzy Osbourne sounds here. I mean, it's awesome as hell. And when you find a good pressing, you know why they were one of the biggest and most challenging bands in the world. It might be rough, but it's melodic, it's brilliant. And this record, I've never loved it as much as listening to this first US pressing. Really, really love it. Great piece of vinyl. Now, my second favorite finding of January 2022. Oh my god, I love this one. I found this in Münster in Germany. I was on a record hunt in Münster, and this is the first US pressing of B.B. King live at Cook County Jail. And B.B. King is amazing, of course. Everybody knows B.B. King is amazing. This one is still in foil. You see? This one is still in foil. It's a near mint copy from 1971, first US pressing, and it sounds awesome. It sounds amazing. I mean, the atmosphere in jail with B.B. King, and the set list, he plays every day I have the blues. How blue can you get? The thrill is gone. I mean, I prefer this set list above the Live at Regal set list. Now, Live at Regal is a brilliant live record. This is almost as equally brilliant live. And finding a near mint copy still in plastic, oh man. Münster is a great city for record hunters. You might not think that on forehand because it's not a very big city, but Münster, man, you can find treasures over there. Now, the number one finding of me from January 2022 is a big gun. It's the Mobile Fidelity one-step version of Pearl by Janis Joplin. Now, Pearl is one of the most amazing records that I have ever listened to. I really love Janis Joplin. I loved what she did with Big Brother and the Holding Company, and what she does on Pearl is amazing. Loads of great songs. Her cover of Me and Bobby McGee is, of course, very well known, but there's so much beauty on this album. This is a masterpiece. Yet, it has always been quite a challenge to find a nice sounding copy. I've listened to a recent repress. I believe it might be a Back to Black or something like that. Didn't like it. I have a Dutch first pressing in my house. It's okay, mediocre at best. I have a first UK pressing, which is a nice rough edge. It's a nice sounding pressing, but this blows it all away. It's not a great recorded record, but when a record is not great recorded, I desire an audiophile pressing, because then I can get closer to the recording. I mean, if you blow a bad recording, the record's just not enjoyable. But if you can make a decent or bad recording sound and come to life as much as a one step does, and this is not a bad recording, it's okay recording, but then you experience it on a whole new level. And also good recordings, you want to hear them on audiophile pressing. Actually, all the good albums you want to hear them on audiophile pressings. This box, it contains photographs, it contains the record on 45 super vinyl. Super vinyl is nice. 45 RPM is awesome. It has some pictures, this is the first time they did that at MoFi. It has a booklet. It's a very nice complete version, and this comes with an awesome, amazing sound quality. If you can find it, I love this helmet to death. And I know it is expensive. It is expensive, but these are the growers. This is a special time for record hunters. I don't think that in 10 years we will still be able to find this kind of quality audiophile pressings. I might be wrong. I hope that I'm wrong. But for now, I think we're living in a very special time. And I'm so happy they released Pearl on a MoFi. Now, this was my top 5 of findings in January 2022. And tell me, what did you find in January? And I'm gonna keep hunting to get another findings video for February. See ya!